Chapter 3 Poison. As Sam would put it, Elle was a coward, and a big one at that. But this wasn't her first rodeo. She knew many tricks to calm Elle down, one of which was to embrace them in the tightest and most comforting hug. So tight, you would think they would suffocate. But Elle would calm down within seconds. Sam discovered this trick when Elle was very young. She had just completed her newest story and couldn't wait to tell her family. They had gathered around the fire one cold winter evening with some hot cocoa, and Sam told her tale, acting in awe. Just as she was getting to the good part, as Sam would describe it, Elle broke down in tears, terrified. Sam apologized over and over, but nothing would calm them down. Eventually, she felt so bad, she embraced them in the biggest hug ever, calming Elle down within seconds. Once Elle was calm, it was time to address the situation herself. As a big sister, she felt obligated to protect Elle during any situation where their parents weren't around, which was more often than you might think. Their parents were busy with work and traveled a lot. They trusted Sam to take care of the two of them for as long as she could remember. This may have been the reason for her to grow up so quickly. Their house was high upon a hill. It took a whole day to travel to the village and back, which is why their parents relied on Sam to take care of Elle so often. Even though she frequently picked on Elle with scary stories, she knew when she needed to be a caring older sister when they needed it most, and this is one of those moments. What stood in front of them in the middle of their beloved and sacred playhouse was a very poisonous snake. Usually these snakes kept to themselves in the woods at the foot of the hill. Not many animals made their way to the top. There wasn't much worth going up for. There was just grass and the occasional tree. Sometimes a few deer or rabbits would wander up and make their way to Mother and Father's garden, but they didn't mind. They always said it was nice to have company on the hills since it was always such a rare occasion that anyone would visit. Mother and Father would say the deer were watching over them, as if they were ancestors coming back to check up on them. Maybe the snake was mean old Granny that passed away last year. She wasn't very nice. Every time she would visit, she would get on to Sam for wasting her time reading and writing instead of learning to cook and sew like her mother. This usually resulted in Sam quickly writing a story with Granny as the villain and reading it out loud during Granny's last meal of her stay. Mother would pretend to scold her as she took her to her room. Then they would giggle as she asked what happened to Granny next. Just like her stories, it was time to banish Granny. Sam held her sword tightly and approached the snake.
You're going down, Granny, just like you always do.
The snake stood up tall and hissed at her. Elle cowered around the door and watched in fear as her sister tackled the snake. She floated around the snake with such skill it almost looked as if they were having a proper sword fight. Sam flew behind the snake, grabbed the back of its head, and scooped it up with her sword. Elle burst into a cheer, then suddenly took a step back when they realized the snake was still too close for comfort.
Come on, let's go take Granny back to the woods where she belongs.
And off to the woods they went. Hi everyone! Thank you so much for watching today's Inktober video, and shame on you to everyone who thought I was going to kill off the dog. Do you hear that dog? He's angry. I can't believe you guys would think I would do such a thing. Alright, I will see you in tomorrow's video.